And by tomorrow, I mean today. Let us go. Final day of the trial. Turnabout Samurai. Oh, I'm still saving. October 20th, 10 a.m. Director's Court. District Court, Director's Court. Goodness me. Apparently I'm tired. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of the trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edwards, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. It claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present at the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimony, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edwards seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution called Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present at the studio in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Apparently dinner's coming back to haunt me. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez, a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I just like needless banter. If you must patonificate, do it when I'm not here. He is not having a good time in this trial. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Give her pay. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at noon, sharp, and ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hannah's body later when we went to Studio 1. That is all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You are fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There was a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk with that monkey head toppling over. Mandela used the van to drive Vasquez to Studio 1 after meeting in the trailer. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. I entered the trailer a little before noon. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employees area? No. Are you always this... Terrace? Terrace? I have no idea what that... I've never seen that word before, so... Whatever. Yes. Oh, dear. The meeting began at noon sharp and ended at 4. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a little bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. Same can be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. There was a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on. All you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Hold on. You had Sal take you. What does that mean? It means just what I said. I had Sal take me to the studio too, Van. Oh, right. 2:30, we took a 15-minute break. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. There was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks and the table in front of the table. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. She committed murder during that break. She wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved that she didn't eat the steak... Well, Nick, find anything? I kinda wish she'd say a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being a boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said somewhere. Enter the trailer a little before noon. Wait, can't I also see the people in this? I thought there was one thing. Nick, find anything? I kind of wish you'd say a little more. I thought there was a way of seeing people because I thought, what's his name? Sal talked about the fact that he had the stakes. Hold on. 2:30, we took a 15-minute break. I want to talk about the fact about the time of death being at 2:15. If I couldn't guess at the moment. But they talked about the stakes. Nope. That was my closest thing I could think of at the moment. It wasn't so much trying to be an objection as much as just bring up the point. Like, we knew that he went to Studio 2. Oh yeah, now I can look at the profiles, but it won't let me do that before. Okay, also I'm talking about the whole steak thing. I have some evidence that proves she didn't eat that steak. Do I have anything? Because I don't think I do. Time of death. Drawing the photo. Not a weapon. I'm really confused on this one. Time of death. Photo. Oh! Oh! They had steaks, they didn't have T-bone steak. Because there was no bones. That's it. Ha! Just as I thought. You claimed to eat a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table of the employees area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you, it was a T-bone steak. Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet, there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You did not eat the steak. You did not eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like the incinerator. I see. Then, what was Miss Vasquez doing during a break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting with the Steel Samurai, picking on Salmonella. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order! Are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright! Isn't that a little, presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was to worry that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was the motor weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you could. You couldn't. Could you? I don't know. I think you could. You couldn't. Could you? I don't know. You couldn't because it was broken. I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Huh. You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing in this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the motor weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the motor weapon. Well, first off is the fact that a break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. I present my proof, the so-called motor weapon. But that is the motor weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spear broke during the morning action scene run-through, but someone fixed the spear. It was a security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who was wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I am the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the motor weapon, then pray tell, what was? How was the hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill? I think I can. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfound, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this motor weapon then. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing on top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended! Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studio. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo. See how the fence post pierced him through the chest. What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again! Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m., the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside Studio 2's trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died the same way he caused another man to die. 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Ho-ho. Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my scriptwriting staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet, the body was found at Studio 2, was it not? And in the evil magistrate costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trial lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs? Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with his body? She couldn't deal with it. I bet she could move it. She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance... Actually, for that matter, there is no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? I'm not actually sure. In this case, I'll say no, he wasn't. Of course he wasn't. Huh. So without Mr. Manella noticing anything, she put the body in the van, then managed to put the body into the costume. Are you seriously suggesting that is possible? Of course I'm not serious. I was kidding to lighten up the proceedings. Light? Lighten! Are you lighting up a murder, Mr. Wright? The court requests you refrain from making claims in jest. I don't want to blame the guy without actually having proof that he was in on it. He could have just been an unknowing pawn. Yes, Your Honor. Of course Salmonella has to be a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? So, what happens next? Me? Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean... D-Vasquez, so it was you! You killed Jack Hammer.